I swear I could feel my hands trembling even before my mother's words left her lips. She leaned toward me with that polished smile she always wore at social events, as though every emotion in her body had been ironed flat for appearances. The orchestra's soft strings hummed beneath the chatter of guests, crystal glasses clinked like bells, and somewhere in the distance my groom laughed with his friends. But all I could hear was her whisper. For a second, everything around me dimmed. My breath caught between my ribs like a trapped bird. The car that wasn't supposed to exist anymore. I turned my face toward her, my wedding veil brushing my cheek like a reminder of where I was in front of everyone, in the middle of what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. My mother was still smiling, teeth glistening, as though she'd just complimented the floral arrangements. "Mom, what do you mean?" I forced the words out between a frozen smile. "Oh, sweetheart." She patted my hand with practiced grace. "It's only fair. They gave it to you, but you'll be married now. It should go back to his side." I stared at her, the taste of champagne turning sour in my mouth. My mind spun back to the night 3 years ago, the night when that car became a symbol of everything I lost. It was supposed to be mine, and yet here she was, gifting away the last piece of a wound that had never fully healed. My name is Lena Carter, and before I became a bride, I was a woman clawing her way out of a life that never wanted her to have anything of her own. 3 years earlier, before I met David, my soon-to-be husband, there was Ethan. The golden boy, the man who once promised me forever with the same mouth that later spat out lies like silk threads. He was my first love, and the night he slid the car keys into my hand, a soft, sleek black convertible, he said, "This isn't just a gift, Lena. It's our beginning." I was young, naive, too trusting. I didn't see that the beginning he meant was for himself, and I was just another chapter in his shiny, perfect life. The betrayal came months later. It wasn't loud or cinematic, it was quiet. A phone call I wasn't supposed to hear, a laugh shared with another woman, my name erased like I was a stain. The car stayed, though. He never took it back. I kept it not because I wanted to, but because it reminded me of how far I'd fallen. And now, on my wedding day, my own mother, was giving it away to David's family, to his parents, as if I was nothing but a transaction. "Lena," my best friend Mia whispered as she adjusted my dress, unaware of the silent storm raging inside me. "Breathe, you're shaking." I forced myself to nod, but the truth was, my hands weren't shaking from nerves. They were shaking because a war had just started inside me, one between who I used to be and the woman I promised I'd become. David didn't know about the cause story. He only knew it existed. He thought it was some generous gift from a family friend. And I'd let him believe that, because the truth, Ethan, the heartbreak, the betrayal, it wasn't something I wanted to carry into my new life. But now it had found me right in the middle of my own wedding. "Mom," I whispered sharply, my voice trembling. "You can't." "Of course I can." She interrupted softly, still smiling at the guests as though nothing was happening. "This is what families do, sweetheart. We make sacrifices. It's time to let go." Let go. Those two words sliced through me like a blade. Let go? No, she wasn't asking. She was deciding for me, like always. I tried to push the thought away as the ceremony began. The flowers were perfect, the music dreamy, and David looked at me like I was the only woman in the world. For a moment, I wanted to believe this fairy tale would hold me together. But under the softness of his gaze, there was something else, a secret tightening in my chest, because my past wasn't buried. It was parked in a garage with Ethan's fingerprints still on the wheel, and tonight it would belong to someone else. Someone I loved now, someone who didn't know the truth. When the priest said, "Do you, Lena Carter, take David Hayes?" my voice barely came out. My yes wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be. It cracked like glass. Everyone clapped, the confetti fell, and my mother, standing near the aisle, leaned into Ethan's cousin, who was one of David's groomsmen. I saw her mouth the words clearly. My knees weakened, my smile stiffened, but I held on to David's hand. I had a wedding to finish, and a secret I could no longer outrun. That night, as laughter echoed through the reception hall and champagne glasses stacked like towers, I felt like I was performing in a movie where everyone had the script except me. David was radiant, laughing with friends. My mother floated like a queen through the crowd, whispering about family generosity and gifts exchanged with love. And me, I was standing at the edge of the ballroom, staring at the parking lot through the glass doors. The black convertible was there, my ghost on 4 wheels. Hey, David's voice startled me gently. He came up behind me, wrapping his arm around my waist. His cologne was warm and familiar cedarwood, and something citrusy. Why are you hiding here? I turned, forcing a smile, just taking it all in. Come on, he whispered against my ear. Our first dance is next. Don't disappear on me. Our first dance, how poetic. How cruel. As we stepped onto the dance floor, soft lights dimmed, and the world became quiet except for the music and the rhythm of our steps. David looked at me with nothing but love, but my chest felt heavy with everything unsaid. Lena, he said softly, I have a surprise for you tonight. I stiffened. A surprise, yeah. His smile widened. My parents told me about the car. I didn't know they were giving it to me. My blood turned cold. I mean, it's still yours, technically. He laughed lightly, but they said they wanted it to be something we shared, a symbol of our journey. My mouth opened, but no sound came out. He thought it was their gift to me. He didn't know it belonged to another man once. David, I whispered, the words burning my throat, that car. But before I could finish, his best man interrupted, pulling us into a toast. The moment vanished like smoke. And my truth stayed locked behind my teeth. Hours later, when the last guest had left and the night sky hung low like a velvet curtain, I found myself standing in front of the car, alone. The polished metal reflected my wedding dress, my trembling hands, my tear-streaked face. Still beautiful, huh? The voice behind me froze me in place. I turned, and there he was, Ethan. He leaned casually against the fence, wearing that familiar crooked grin. Older now, but just as devastatingly charming. My stomach dropped. Wah, what are you doing here? I stammered. He shrugged. Your mom invited me. My heart twisted violently. She invited him to my wedding. She said it would be poetic. Ethan continued, his voice like honey laced with venom. The car, you, me, and your new life. Guess she wanted to tie up loose ends. The night wind bit at my skin as I stepped back, clutching my dress. You have no right to be here. Relax, Lena. I'm not here to ruin your big day. His gaze shifted to the car. Just here to say goodbye to an old friend. I wanted to scream, to hit him, to tell him how many nights I spent crying because of him. But all I could do was stare at the man who had once held my heart like it was his to break. He stepped closer. You're still angry. Good, that means I mattered. I slapped him. The sound cracked through the parking lot. His grin faded. For a moment, I saw the real Ethan, the cruel boy behind the charm. You'll never forget me, Lena, no matter how many vows you make. Watch me, I whispered. He leaned in, so close I could smell the whiskey on his breath. David doesn't know, does he, about us, about the car? My silence was answer enough. Thought so, he chuckled. Secrets have a way of rotting everything from the inside. And just like that, he disappeared into the night, leaving behind the car, and a ticking time bomb inside my chest. I wrapped my arms around myself, shivering not from the cold but from the weight of everything I'd buried. I thought I'd left Ethan behind years ago, but maybe I never really had. Behind me, the ballroom doors opened. Lena, David's voice called out, soft and warm. I quickly wiped my tears, turning to face the man who didn't deserve any of this. Hey, I whispered. He frowned. You're crying. Just overwhelmed. He stepped closer, cupping my face. Whatever it is, you can tell me, always. And for the first time that night, I realized the secret wasn't protecting him, it was protecting me, but secrets never stay buried forever. I didn't sleep that night. Every tick of the clock felt like a countdown to a truth I could no longer run from. David deserved honesty, and I, for once in my life, deserved to own my past instead of letting it own me. The next morning, sunlight spilled across our new apartment. David walked in, coffee in hand, still wearing that soft, effortless smile. The man who saw me as something good, worth loving. Morning, Mrs. Hayes, he teased. I swallowed hard. David, we need to talk. His smile faltered just slightly, but he nodded, setting the cup down. Okay, what's going on? I told him everything, the car, Ethan, the betrayal. How my mother, in all her perfect smiles, invited him to our wedding like my past was just a decoration. At first, David didn't speak. His jaw tightened, his hands curled, but he didn't yell, he didn't walk away. He just listened. Why didn't you tell me? he finally asked, because I was ashamed. I admitted, tears burning my eyes, because I thought if I buried it deep enough it wouldn't matter, but it does, it always has. He took a long breath. Lena, you should have trusted me, I know. Silence hung between us like fragile glass. Then slowly he reached for my hand. I don't care about the car or him, I care about you, and if you're ready to let it go, then let's do it together. That's when I knew this wasn't just a man who loved me. This was someone who would fight with me, not against me. Hours later, I met my mother at her house. She was in the garden, trimming roses like nothing had happened. Why did you invite him? I asked, my voice shaking. She didn't even look up. Because he was a part of your story, and stories don't just disappear, Lena. I never asked for you to decide what parts of my story get to stay. I snapped. Not the car, not him, not anything. She finally turned to me, her smile cold. I raised you. I know what's best. No, I whispered, a fire growing in my chest. You know what's best for you. You wanted control over me, over my life, but not anymore. I pulled the car keys from my purse and dropped them on the table between us. You wanted it passed down. Fine, it's yours or his or nobody's. I don't care. It's not me anymore. She looked stunned for the first time. And it felt powerful. I walked away with my head high. That car, that boy, that shame, they weren't mine to carry anymore. When I got back home, David was waiting with 2 mugs of coffee and a quiet smile. Done? He asked. Done. I breathed, and for the first time in years, the air around me didn't feel like it belonged to someone else. It felt like mine. That night, as we stood on the balcony, wind in my hair, I realized something important. I had spent so much of my life trying to hide my scars. But the real power wasn't in burying them. It was in owning them.